This is a pack of Pokemon cards from 2016, and this is a master carton of Pokemon cards from 2016. Inside this cardboard box is 216 packs of Pokemon cards. In this YouTube video, we're going to talk about why I spent $5,700 on 216 of these packs. And we're going to use this tiny camera to slip it inside the box and make sure what we bought are actually real Pokemon cards, because I haven't checked yet. I have no idea. At the very end, I'm going to talk about how I went through the process, how I purchased something like this safely, and most importantly, why. Let's get started. So you finally started your own business. Invest for the long term, and I'll show you exactly how. Be good to future you. Let's first talk about rich. We know that the rich don't convert hours of their life into money. They buy assets. And this is one of those videos. We're talking about assets, but this time we're talking about Pokemon cards. Yep, Pokemon cards. The reason we're talking about Pokemon cards is because Pokemon cards are within my circle of understanding. So I invest in things that I understand, that I can comprehend. Computer hardware, Pokemon cards, stocks, bonds, commodities, and cryptocurrency. I understand all of these things and I invest in them. If I understood sports cards, this would probably be a pack of sports cards. But in my case, it's Pokemon. So let's talk about why I bought this case. First of all, this pack that I'm holding up is not just any old pack of Pokemon cards. But to understand why this pack is important, we have to go back in time a little bit. So let me show you something to explain my point. This right here is a first edition Charizard. First edition Charizard means that it was the very first print. This is actually a thick stamp, and I'll show you a close-up here in a minute. But what that means is that this was the very first run of Pokemon cards ever created. You can see the artwork here is iconic. Everybody knows what this is. This is classic, quintessential Charizard. Well, all of these cards were printed around 1999, in the United States at least. You see, what happens is Pokemon doesn't print sets over and over again. They don't continuously keep printing the same artwork on their cards. They change it up. Every 6 months or so, we get a new set and new style of artwork, and the previous artworks are not printed again. That's what gives them value, that's what makes them scarce, and that's what makes them rare. That's one of the reasons why Charizards are so hard to find. And let me explain why that's special. When I was a kid, I collected every single first edition Pokemon card there was. I had them all laid out in a binder. I made an appointment with one of the local collectors at the shop, and I sold him my entire collection for $360. You know, at the time, I thought I was making a good move. You know, I'd worked hard on collecting. I was 12 years old. I wanted to make some money off it. And what I did was I sold a collection. I sold an appreciating asset to buy toys. I bought tech decks, yo-yos, and skateboards. Had I held on to that collection, it could be well over $50,000 today.
What?
Maybe even $100,000 depending on the condition of the cards. But that's not how I thought back then. I didn't think about appreciating assets, I just thought about getting the things that I wanted. Now that I'm an adult, I understand this a little bit better, so I've begun investing in things that I really care about. But let's back up real quick and finish that story about me when I was 12 years old, because it's important to understand what was happening in that time. Everyone that was my age was caught up in this craze of Pokemon right around the year 2000. It took over everybody's lives. We played the games, we watched the movies, we collected the cards, we battled with each other, we talked about it, we looked at lore, we tried to translate Japanese stuff. It was a craze. People loved it. And it became something nostalgic. Every time I look at this card, I get hit right here in my nostalgia button. Like, it's cool because I used to participate in this kind of stuff and now I get to experience it again as an adult. That gives you a perspective of why this is my circle of understanding. I understand the value of those original cards. Those original cards are very, very special because when you would open up a pack of those, the chances of getting a Blastoise, a Venusaur, even a Charizard maybe, it was so worth it. It felt great. So then they started printing other sets of artwork and they moved on. Now, fast forward and we have hundreds of different styles of artwork for individual Pokemon. We have hundreds of different sets and expansions and different types of artwork and capabilities and design. But the original designs still hold a special place in a lot of collectors' hearts. And that's why this pack of Pokemon cards is special. This pack of Pokemon cards is a reprint of the original set. The original set of Pokemon cards was only printed in 1999-2000. But in 2016, the Pokemon Company decided to reprint the exact same artwork from the first edition base set Pokemon cards. And they printed it under a set called XY Evolutions. So in 2016, for a limited time, there was a set of XY Evolutions that had every single one of the Pokemon cards from the original ones. Of course, there's a few things changed, like the dates and whatnot, and they did add in a few special extra cards to make it even better. But the point is that this pack right here could contain a card that looks like Charizard. These packs are the only way that you can open up a pack of Pokemon cards and pull out possible Charizard. These packs of cards are the only way that you can start collecting Pokemon cards and go through the exact same artwork and the exact same experiences and the exact same feel with your kids as you did when you were a kid. X and Y Evolutions is the only packs of Pokemon cards that have the same type of artwork, and that's what makes them special. So inside this box is our 6 booster boxes. What you have to understand is that when Pokemon cards get shipped, they don't just show up in a package. They come in booster boxes, which look like this. And inside each booster box, there's 36 of these packs. That means that inside this master case, there are 6 booster boxes, bringing our total to 216 packs of Pokemon cards. All Pokemon cards from XY Evolutions. Now, there's only one problem. I don't know if this case actually contains XY Evolutions. I've never looked inside, I haven't cut the tape, and there's no way to get in here. But what I did do was I bought a mini camera and I hooked it up to a cell phone so that I could record what it looks like inside the box of Pokemon cards. So we're going to take this camera, we're going to insert it into this master case of Pokemon cards and see if it's actually real. Let's get started. So I have this box of Pokemon cards here. Let's get started. Here we have the camera. You guys can see it going. Let's get the light turned on. Okay, let's get the screen recording going. Okay, so we're screen recording. We have the light on. You can see that we're going into the X and Y. We're gonna just lift this up oh so gently. I don't really want to make a problem. I don't want to rip this box. Just sliding now. Oh shit, there we have it, folks. Look at that, XY Evolutions. We're inside the actual master carton right now, and I can easily tell that those are XY Evolutions booster boxes. Dude, there's 6 of them in there. That means there's 216 packs. Wow. It's a completely real box. It was worth the $5,700 I spent because this is a long-term hold. Wow, that's really cool. I did not expect this camera setup to go so well. I'm not gonna lie. If you get totally past it, you can slide all the way in there and see everything. This is so cool. This is super exciting. I'm glad I got this. Uh-oh. We got the camera stuck. We can get it out. All right. Now that we know what's inside the box, I couldn't be happier. Like, this is super cool. Like, I am pumped to know that I didn't get duped and that I did it the right way. It makes me really happy. Let me tell you a little bit about that exchange so you can understand how I made it happen. First things first is I got involved in the Pokemon community. I started following people and interacting with people who were really interested and had a love for Pokemon just like myself. One of those people is Ash Fox Gaming. We actually talked on my podcast once and she's become a friend of mine, and so lo and behold, consequently, she's also become one of my Pokemon experts that I refer to or that I defer to. So one of those people is Ashfox Gaming. We actually did a podcast together, and she's become one of my friends and more or less a Pokemon expert that's in my corner. So I told her what I was looking for and what I wanted to buy, and she found somebody for me. She found someone that had an entire master carton, 216 packs. So I reached out to him on Instagram, we started talking, and we arranged for the deal to happen. I told him that I wanted an unopened, sealed case. And so I had no idea if what I was getting was real. At a certain point, you just gotta trust the person. But we took a few steps to make it safe. One of those things is using PayPal's merchant services or goods and services payments. That way, PayPal kind of acts as an escrow company, and there's the option for you to fight it and get your money back. Another thing that I did was I used a credit card with PayPal. That way I had a second layer of protection. So I reached out to the buyer. I also had him send me a real-time video of the box and himself so that I could make sure that it was in fact real. I mean, when you're purchasing something like this online for so much money, there's just an element of trust and there's an element of risk. But luckily I had Ashfox in my corner, and I've been duped before, so I was not gonna let it happen again. Anyways, the transaction ended up going really smooth. It was shipped to my house. I've had it set aside, and then I bought this tiny camera to make sure that it was what it is. And here we are making a video about one of the coolest asset classes that I've ever purchased: Pokemon trading cards. Now, the whole reason I bought these Pokemon trading cards is a hedge against inflation. We can't forget the reason why I'm doing this. The reason we did this is to take our cash and put it into an asset that goes up in value over time. If you look at the history of value of Pokemon cards, you'll see that it has sharp spikes, but it does go up in value as time goes on. And so I want to hold on to this for a long time so that hopefully they'll be worth many times more than what I paid for them. The best scenario would be is if I got so rich that I didn't even have to worry about it and I got to open them all up with my kids. Like, that would be a blast, but we'll see what happens. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you like learning from me and you want to learn more, check out my website, vanator.com. You'll be able to find everything I do. Thanks for hanging out. Keep educating. Be good to future you.